Angel Reese says women's basketball isn't about just one player, but the Chicago Sky just showed her a tough truth. They didn't just change a game, they moved it to the famous United Center for the first ever WNBA game there. And the reason? Caitlyn Clark. Angel, you might not want to hear this, but this move proves what you've been saying isn't true.
Angel Reese wants the credit alongside Caitlyn Clark that she believes she deserves for the growing popularity of women's basketball.
They doubled the seats, cranked up the excitement, and Caitlyn Clark fever is spreading fast. Whether you like it or not, she's the star of the show, and even Angel Reese's own team knows it. Think about it. Before Caitlyn Clark joined the WNBA, arenas had empty seats, the energy was low, and the games weren't exactly must-watch. Then Caitlyn arrived, and everything changed. Crowds packed every game, tickets sold out in no time. TV ratings shot up. Teams weren't just looking for bigger arenas. They were fighting for a chance to host her games. Atlanta, Washington, and now Chicago are all jumping at the chance to bring in Caitlyn Clark mania. To Angel Reese and anyone still doubting, grab some popcorn and maybe a tissue, because the truth just hit hard. The Chicago Sky didn't just make a smart business move, they sent a message loud and clear. Caitlyn Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA, she's the superstar changing the game right now. Stick around because we're breaking down how Caitlyn Clark proved the haters wrong and turned women's basketball into a must-see event. But before we jump in, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Stay updated on the biggest WNBA stories, expert takes, and game-changing moves like this one. Don't miss out, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. Let's take a step back for a sec. Before Caitlyn Clark arrived, the WNBA was doing fine, but it wasn't grabbing headlines. Attendance was around 6,600 per game. Arenas weren't full, and if we're being honest, some games felt more like casual meetups than big-time sporting events. Fans sipped coffee, scrolled their phones, and checked the time, wondering if they left the stove on. The energy was okay, but it wasn't setting the sports world on fire. Then bam, Caitlyn Clark stepped in, and everything exploded. Stadiums filled up faster than a free donut giveaway. Her jerseys sold out like crazy. Social media couldn't stop buzzing every time she hit the court. Sports networks talked about her non-stop. Fans traveled across the country just to see her play. Even Grandma, who hasn't watched sports since black and white TV, now knows exactly who Caitlyn Clark is. And let's be real, Grandma doesn't even have cable. Now let's talk about Angel Reese again. She made headlines recently with that viral interview, confidently saying the WNBA isn't about just one player, hinting that she meant herself.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Look, confidence is great, we respect it, cheer for it, and honestly, sports wouldn't be the same without it. But Angel, let's be real for a second. When Chicago doubles the size of their arena just for games against Caitlyn Clark, it's not exactly a secret. It's like putting up a giant flashing sign that says Caitlyn Clark is the main event. Seriously, Angel, think about it. Imagine believing you're the biggest star yet watching your own team's management send a different message without saying a word. If the Sky truly thought you were the top attraction, wouldn't they upgrade arenas for your games too? But nope, silence. Instead, they roll out the red carpet only when Caitlyn Clark comes to town. That says it all. It's a tough truth, but facing reality never hurt anyone. Just ask the ticket sales. Now let's talk numbers. Caitlyn Clark joining the WNBA wasn't just a big deal, it was massive. Before she arrived, WNBA games rarely made headlines or sent social media into a frenzy. But once she stepped on the court for the Indiana Fever, attendance didn't just rise, it exploded. Remember that huge opening game against the Liberty? Over 17,700 fans packed into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, making a regular season game feel like the NBA Finals or a sold-out Taylor Swift concert. It was absolute chaos. And let's be clear, this isn't just luck or a one-time thing. Every time Caitlyn takes the court, the energy is unreal. Fans travel hundreds, even thousands of miles just to see her shoot, just to witness her magic in person.
In the 2024 WNBA Draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Clark isn't just making shots, she's making magic. She sinks impossible shots from nearly half court like it's no big deal. She's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a show fans will remember for a long time. Still not convinced? Let's look at teams outside Indiana. The Atlanta Dream moved their games to State Farm Arena, where the NBA's Hawks play, just for Caitlyn Clark's visit. The Washington Mystics did the same, shifting to Capital One Arena, home of the Wizards, just because Caitlyn was in town. If that's not star power, what? Now let's get back to Angel Reese and those who refuse to accept the truth. The ones still saying Caitlyn isn't the center of the WNBA world. Angel, let's be honest for a second. If Caitlyn wasn't the biggest name in the league, then why is your own team, the Chicago Sky, changing their schedule, doubling their seating, and making special moves only for her games? They didn't do this for you. They didn't do it for anyone else in the league. It's like throwing a party and telling everyone you're the star, only to realize people are really showing up because Beyoncé decided to make an appearance.
Caitlyn Clark has become a national phenom, and some fans say they went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
Pretty embarrassing, right? Honestly, the denial is starting to get a little funny. Angel, your own team isn't just dropping hints. They're practically yelling that Caitlyn Clark is the player fans want to see. Ignoring it won't change the truth. It just makes things more awkward. So how much more proof do people need before the doubters finally give in and admit the obvious? Here's the thing about haters. They hold on to denial like it's their favorite snack. It's easier for Angel and others to pretend Caitlyn isn't changing the game, because admitting her impact would mean facing a tough truth. She's outshining them and she's only just getting started. Imagine spending years training, working hard, and then a rookie walks in and grabs all the attention faster than free pizza disappears at a college dorm. But let's be real, numbers don't lie, and neither do ticket sales. If Caitlyn Clark wasn't a huge deal, teams wouldn't be expanding their arenas just to fit her fans.
What are you most excited to see?
Her playing. She's a good three-point shooter. I love watching her score and just everything about her.
The numbers aren't just speaking, they're shouting. Fans show what they love by where they go and how they spend their money. And right now, they're rushing to Caitlyn Clark's games, leaving the doubters looking at empty seats and unsold tickets. Reality check. This is Caitlyn's world now, and the haters are just along for the ride. Even Sheila Johnson, owner of the Mystics, says the league has plenty of stars who deserve attention. And she's absolutely right. The WNBA is packed with talent, veterans, rising stars, and rookies who can compete with the best. But here's the thing. None of them, as great as they are, have sparked this kind of massive growth. Caitlyn Clark isn't just making plays. She's filling stadiums, grabbing headlines, and dominating media coverage like no one before her. Let's be honest, Caitlyn is doing something past great players couldn't. She's putting women's basketball into everyday conversation. People are talking about her at dinner tables, coffee shops, and even barber shops. Fans who never watched a single WNBA game before are now tuning in, all because Caitlyn Clark is simply too exciting to ignore.
Caitlyn Clark is the GOAT.
Just watching her passion in the game, the way she just plays with her team.
At this point, denying Caitlyn Clark's impact is like saying pizza isn't delicious, puppies aren't cute, or weekends aren't the best. It's not just wrong, it doesn't even make sense. And let's talk about TV deals. Remember when the WNBA locked in that massive $2.2 billion media rights deal? Yes, billion with a B. To put that into perspective, that's enough money to buy lifetime tickets for everyone in your town and still have extra cash for snacks. This historic deal didn't happen just because the league decided to step up its marketing overnight. It happened because networks, sponsors, and pretty much anyone paying attention saw Caitlyn Clark coming from miles away like a storm rolling in, where you just know something huge is about to happen. Even the WNBA commissioner has admitted it. Caitlyn's presence has taken both viewership and attendance to record-breaking levels. She didn't just boost ratings, she sent them soaring. People who never even thought about watching women's basketball are now tuning in, just waiting to see her next jaw-dropping moment.
I like when she just shoots from half court, she's crazy. Pulls up right there, drops up.
Whether it's her unbelievable deep shots, jaw-dropping passes, or just the energy she brings, Caitlyn Clark is a walking highlight reel. She keeps fans glued to their screens, game after game. The Chicago Sky's choice to move Fever games to the United Center isn't just a good idea, it's a business masterstroke. The Chicago Sky saw Caitlyn's star power and made the smart choice to embrace it, unlike Angel Reese and the doubters. Instead of sulking, they turned the hype into profit. That's just good business, right? Now imagine if Angel Reese let go of the pride, stopped holding on to it tighter than your little brother grips the TV remote, and actually took advantage of this moment. Picture this, Angel stepping onto the court at the United Center, with 20,000 fans roaring, putting on the performance of a lifetime, a dominant 20-point, 20-rebound game that would have people talking for weeks. She could be sharing the headlines, standing in the spotlight, and proving her bold words true. But instead, she's acting bitter, dodging the attention like it's a dentist appointment, and letting Caitlyn Clark steal the show without even trying. Caitlyn isn't taking anything away from anyone. She's just being herself, shining like Times Square at midnight. The real issue The haters, especially Angel Reese, refuse to step up. Instead of rising to the challenge, they waste time sulking and throwing shade. Angel, the ball is literally in your hands. Why not take this chance and show you deserve the hype too? Even some of the biggest names in basketball history are acknowledging Caitlyn's impact. Lisa Leslie, one of the most legendary WNBA players ever, didn't just give her a simple compliment. She called her a game changer, a player who is reshaping the league right before our eyes. And when someone like Lisa Leslie, who set the standard for greatness in women's basketball, says Caitlyn is special, you know it's real. And it's not just Lisa Leslie. Coach K, yes, the legendary Duke coach, whose word in basketball is as good as gold, praised Caitlyn as the most exciting player today. He didn't just talk about her skills, he highlighted her ability to inspire millions of young girls around the world.
One of the leaders to help millions of young girls realize their dreams, not just in sport.
We're talking about one of the greatest basketball coaches in history, openly recognizing Caitlyn Clark's massive impact. Even her teammates can't stop raving about her, excited just to share the court with her. When legends and teammates are constantly singing your praises, that's when you know you've reached a whole new level of stardom. Maybe Angel Reese should take some notes. Let's be clear, the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon isn't going anywhere. It's not some short-lived trend that fades as fast as your New Year's resolutions. This is a major shift that's changing women's basketball for good. Caitlyn's influence is making the sport more relevant than ever. Fans who never paid attention to women's basketball before are now hooked, turning into diehard supporters almost overnight. And here's the best part, everybody wins. More viewers mean bigger TV deals, more sponsorships, and sold-out arenas. And that leads to something every WNBA player wants: better salaries, better opportunities, and a stronger league for the future.
They are playing, obviously, in the United Center. There are 20,000 seats.
It's a win-win for everyone, and hating on Caitlyn at this point isn't just petty, it's ridiculous. That's like complaining about free ice cream samples because they taste too good, or getting mad that holidays come with time off. Seriously, who does that? Caitlyn Clark is lifting the entire sport, and fighting against her rise just doesn't make sense. So let's stop the nonsense and embrace. Looking ahead, 2025 is set to be even bigger, with the WNBA All-Star Game heading to Indianapolis, Caitlyn's new home court. The league is likely to shatter attendance records again. And let's be real, teams like Chicago aren't moving to bigger arenas for fun. They're making smart business moves that will bring in big money. Even Angel Reese should be thanking Caitlyn for helping secure bigger paychecks for the entire league. The truth is simple, Caitlyn Clark isn't just a star, she's the face of a new era. The haters can keep complaining, or they can hop on board. Either way, this movement isn't slowing down. Bigger arenas, bigger deals, and bigger excitement. It's all happening, and Caitlyn is leading the charge.